let's continue with section 6.4. I want to do two more word problems with you. And by the way, you will have word problems on your test, so make sure you understand that. Okay? We'll do example number 4 together. And this one says, what number differs from its reciprocal by -1? So I'm looking for a number. So I guess I'll call that number x, right? What would be the reciprocal of that number then? 1 over x. And when I say differ, which operation am I talking about? Add, subtract, multiply, divide. Subtract. So what number, x, differs, -1 over x, from its reciprocal, 1 over x, by -1? That equals -1. There's your equation. Go ahead and solve. So what's the common denominator in this case? Just x. Good. So we're going to do the same thing. Now notice on the top I have an x, so that'll be x squared. And then for the next term, it's just 1, no problems there. And then over here on the right-hand side, I believe I need a -x. Once again, once the denominators are the same, you can then equate the numerators. And therefore, you have x squared. And I'm going to move everything to one side, okay? Plus x minus 1 equal to 0. I move everything to one side because then I have a nice quadratic. And what can you do with quadratics? Factor it, yes. And if you can't factor, quadratic formula. So in this case, can we actually factor this? Two numbers that multiply to -1 and add to +1? I think not. So if I think not, let's go ahead and use the formula. X equals to -b, good, plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Dun, dun, dun. So once again, if you can't factor, go ahead, use the formula. Yeah, you might get an ugly number, but hey, that's life sometimes, right? Life is all about ugly numbers. -1 plus or minus, and I guess this is root 5 over 2. Okay, now can someone actually calculate what these two numbers are? I just want to do it because I want to illustrate this to you, but you don't have to. What are these numbers? So -1 plus root 5 over 2. 0.618. Okay. And then what about the other one? Negative something, yeah. Negative what? Okay. 1.618. Okay. So what I'm saying to you for example number 4 here is that if you were to take one of these values, okay, the 0.618, and if you were going to plug it into the original question up here, x take away 1 over x equals -1, you should find that the left side equals to -1. Now let's take a look to see if this is true. I'm going to bring out my calculator. You bring out yours too. What's wrong? Okay, bring out your calculator. Where's my calculator? Yes, you can leave your answer as an exact value in a test. Don't waste your time doing the calculator if I don't ask you to. If I do ask you for a decimal answer though, then please go ahead and use your calculator. So what I want to show you is this, okay? Let's take 0.618 and let's subtract that from the reciprocal. What's 1 divided by 0.618? And what should I actually get as my final answer? -1. That's pretty close. That works, okay? If I use the other value of -1.618 and I did the same thing, subtract 1 divided by -1.618. Once again, I hope you get the answer of -1. That's pretty close to -1. You know you're good. So once again, whenever you're solving expressions or equations like this, you can always plug your numbers back in to get or to make sure your answer is correct. Okay, last one. My favorite. Sorry? No, both works. I just showed you both work. On the calculator, see? The top one here, 0.618, that gave you -1. -1.618, that also worked. Both worked. Okay? Both work. All right, last one. Anybody heard of Orange Ink? They sell the O-phone, the O-pad, the O-Mac. Am I kidding? Yeah, I'm kidding. Obviously. Anyways, they sell Oprah. No, just joking. Okay, so Jason here, my good friend Jason, he buys a block of shares of Orange Inc. Okay, for this much money, 1875. So shares mean you purchase part of the company. You actually own part of this company. Now, look what happened here. When the share price increased by $4, he sold all of them except 15. So he kept 15. They sold the rest. And he made money. He said he made $1,740. The question I have for you is how many shares did he originally buy? I'm asking you for how many shares. So that's our variable. What do you want to call that? X. Okay, so let's go X equals the number of original shares that they bought. Okay. So there's my variable. Let's see if we can come up with an equation. And I need you to help me out with an equation. Something about shares. You purchase some shares at a certain price and you paid this much money. Any ideas? He buys a block of shares, kind of like buying a whole bunch of coffees. Each coffee costs a particular amount. How much does it cost? I don't know.
What, the coffee?
Or the shares? I don't know. So if I don't know something else, what can I do? Another variable. Let's call P the price of the stock. Or the share. I'll say the share. Price of shares. Okay. And to be more specific, I'll say the original price of the shares. Okay? Because the price changes. So tell me, how would I use these two variables and this piece of information here, 1,875? X times P equals to XP, 1875. Good. There's your first equation. Uh-oh, I said first equation. Guess what? There's another one. Yeah, so when the share price increases by 4, and that would be Eileen, P plus 4, okay. He sells all but 15.
So X minus 15.
X minus 15, exactly. X is all of them, right? But he didn't sell all of them. He sold all but 15. And how much did he get for them? 1740. Oh, look, equation number 2. Two variables, two equations. Oh my. What do we need to do? Either solve for P or solve for X. Or substitute. Yeah, I would probably say substitute. Now my question to you is, should I take equation number 1 and solve for P or solve for X? What am I looking for? Number of shares. I'm looking for the original number of shares. That's X. So in my other equation here, which variable do I want to keep? I want to keep X, so I want to get rid of P. So therefore, if I want to get rid of P, I should solve for P. So what's P equal to here, using that first equation? That's 1,875 divided by X. Take this, stick it into here, go ahead now and solve. So I'm going to say now we have X minus 15, and then P, which is 1,875 over X plus 4, equals to 1,740. Okay. And go ahead, please, expand, simplify, and let's see if you can solve. So here we go. What's X times 1,875 over X? Yeah, just 1,875, right? The X over X, they cancel out. Okay. Keep going now. X times 4 is just 4X. What's 15 times 1875? Uh-oh. 28,000? 125? Don't forget the over X, right? Because you have the denominator of X there. And then I guess you have minus 60. And that equals to 1,740. It's time to do some simplification here, and then once again you're going to have to try to solve. So I'm thinking 1875, 1875 along with the minus 60 and then the 1740. Can we all combine that together somehow? 75? Okay, so 4x minus 28,125 over x. Is it plus 75, I heard? Equals to 0. Okay. That looks good. Oh, I've got a denominator of x. Find the common denominator, right? So I guess it's 4x, 28, 125, no change. Thank you. I'm waiting for some of you to tell me. 4x squared, right? Because I'm missing a factor of x. Okay. And then 75 becomes just 75x. And of course, 0 is just 0. And once again, once you've done that, you can equate the numerators. So I'll equate the numerators, and this is what you got. 4x squared plus 75x minus 28,125 equals to 0. Okay. Go ahead and solve this. By the way, once I see big numbers like this, don't try to factor. Just go ahead and use the formula. Okay? Because good luck trying to find two numbers that multiply to that nasty thing and add up to 75. Maybe Rahul can do it, but you guys can't. All right, so just go ahead and use the quadratic formula. I won't sing it again because you're tired of me singing the song. It's a nice catchy tune, isn't it? I guess I should do this with you. Lots of people are away. Don't know. Whoa. 118125. I hope that's a nice number. Uh-oh, did I make a mistake? You got a good number, so what did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? 75 squared? Ah, yes, it's not 1. I'm trying to be a grade 11. These are the typical mistakes people make. A is not 1, it's 4. Thank you. 4 times 4 times negative 28,125. That looks better. 455,625. That's what I was expecting. Because I think that square root is a nice number. Yeah, 675. Okay. Okay, once again, there's a plus minus, right? So there are two possible solutions. The positive one of positive 675 and also the negative one. Which one can I automatically not do for this one? Yeah, how do you buy negative number of shares? That doesn't make sense to me. So what's this? Negative 75 plus 675, that's 600. 600 divided by 8, I think that's 75. 75 shares it must be. Okay? Yay. Yay, yay, yay. Stop recording.